Hey, it's Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com, and today we're going to talk about sex. We're actually here at the Natural History Museum. We're here with Harvey Webster, Director of Wildlife Resources. Harvey, what's going on with this new exhibit you got
we
here?
got this great exhibit here at the museum. It's called Nature's Mating Games, Beyond the Birds and the Bees, and it is all about sex. And we've got all sorts of things that describe the different strategies that wild animals use, including videos by Isabella Rosallini herself, who talks about, different strategies that animals use, and also there's things they might use to do sex. For instance, this is a baculum of a walrus, which turns out that most male mammals have a penis bone. Who knew? We've got lots of examples of that, and you have lots of examples of how they're used. Videos like this one here of bonobos, which are jungle chimpanzees, and you'll see in a bit here, they find any excuse to get together and use sex not only for reproducing, but also use sex to diffuse social tensions. And so we also have stuffed animals, and this gives new meaning to the word mount. And we've got all sorts of cool things that just talk about what happens in the natural world. Let's check this out. So here's a red deer, which is kind of the European equivalent of an elk. And they've got these magnificent antlers. And antlers are a bony growth off of the skull, just like our white-tailed deer, which are using them right now. And you see over there moose, and you see locked antlers. You also see horns from other animals. And these males use those antlers to duke it out with one another to see who gets the right to breed with the females.
They're not really to fight to get food, they're fighting for the female.
Not fighting enemies and not fighting to get food, after they're done, what happens to them? They fall off.
I found it interesting, they only fight ones that are close to them. The ones that are too weak or too strong, they find their own way.
Right. They don't bother with them.
No, but the ones that are very close have to fight it out.
You got it. And again, that's for the right to breed with the females. Well, take a look at this here. You see all of these male birds. Whether you're a barn swallow that might nest in your barn that has a handsome forked tail, or whether you're a bird of paradise and you see the extraordinary plumes of the birds of paradise, or even a rooster, you can see these males are plumed and adorned with all sorts of colors designed to attract the attention of a female.
We don't even know why these birds and animals are so beautiful, and half the time it's to attract their mate.
You got it. It's not for our benefit. Even in springtime, if you hear birds that are singing out there, they're actually declaring their territory. I mean, it's business to them. So this exhibit is characterized by live animals. We've got naked mole rats and hissing cockroaches, by these extraordinary videos, some of the best nature videos from around the world that show animals in various postures of getting it on. Unique taxidermy, like a male and female fox that got caught in the act and can't seem to disentangle themselves. Or you might even see over here, we've got a pair of hedgehogs that are mating. And how does a hedgehog mate? And the answer is very carefully. So it's actually all about the different strategies that wild animals use to get together, because it turns out sex is all about evolution, in having males and females exchange sexual products that end up, reproductive products that end up in their youngsters. That's a driver of genetic novelty, and when you have novel genetic expressions that are met up with the challenges of the real world, that's how you get things that survive. They're fitter, they're more able, they're more capable, they've got maybe bigger antlers, they're more beautifully plumed. That gives them the right to reproduce, and that perpetuates that line. So it's really kind of cool stuff, and there's also a section that deals with us humans.
Yeah. At the end,
so,
it's nice.
Because we're part of that too.
And it's a survival of the fittest, it's evolution, it's very educational, and yet I brought our kids, they thought it was just fascinating and funny, and they just loved it, really. It's a great exhibit.
I mean, there's a little bit, and when you go through the red drapes where you see the sex sign, and we do recommend PG-13, not that you wouldn't bring young kids in here, but we want you to know that the topic of the exhibit is about the urge to merge, the reproductive strategies that are expressed in nature. And it's a really interesting thing. And the cool thing about it is this exhibit premiered in London, England, and then it went to Paris, and from Paris it came to Cleveland, Ohio. We are the North American premiere of Nature's Mating Games.
This is a beautiful exhibit. I think parents are going to love it, kids are going to love it, all ages are going to love it. It's a great place for a first date.
That's right.
A cool Cleveland first date anyway. Harvey, Harvey,
you might get some inspirations, you guys, about what you need to do.
You can't help but see what's going on here. Harvey, you spent some great time with us. Thank you so much. It's going to be up through April 27th.
Indeed. So we have it for quite some time. We hope folks come down here and check it out.
Sounds great. Thanks so much for taking time.
Take care.
Hey, it's Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com. Have a great week in Cool Cleveland.